Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once again. My esteemed viewers, it's me Ahmed Manjang again for another edition of COVID-19 Daily Update. And today, our topic today will be again COVID-19 and famine pandemic. Right now, what is evidence COVID-19? The effect is beyond our physical illness. We discuss about the mental component of this pandemic. And yesterday and today we are discussing the knock-on effects, um, like the hunger, the impending hunger. I think people start feeling it everywhere in the world, including the US, the most powerful nation on earth. Right now, today, U.S. unemployment rate starts 30 million 30 million Americans didn't have a job. They have to rely on the handout to survive. And we have seen how their food banks have been bloated. And back home, we have seen the president um, getting a lot of rise, but unfortunately, politics is getting in the way. And in my own hometown, I have to give credit to Yamusu Jofa Brahmadago, my younger brother Babukar, for coming up with that brilliant idea of remote COVID-19 initiative. I think this Saturday they are giving some rise to the first 100 maybe families in the community. That is a brilliant idea. But as usual, this program starts with COVID-19 statistic. We cannot forget it. We are here because of COVID-19. So it has to be at the center of all our discussions. Um, how I do this is an English language program, but what we do, I start with introduction of the numbers, COVID-19 numbers so far, the statistic. Then I will translate quickly into Mandinka, then I proceed to the main topic of the day. So that's what I'm going to do right now. As you all remember, COVID-19 emerged in China in December 2019, towards the end of 2019. Since then, 3,274,346 people got infected with COVID-19, and out of that, 231, 473 dead. 1,031,782 people recovered from COVID-19, and these recovered population are going to be very, very important in our understanding of this deadly disease, and is also going to help a lot in treatment of COVID-19 because initially the British government were suggesting like a COVID-19 immunity passport. What they mean by that, those who are infected means that their body develop immunity or resistance against the virus. So that immunity passport they were suggesting will give people the license to go back to work. But then WHO warned caution about that. They're not sure if people who recover from COVID-19 will actually be immune or resistant to the virus. But just a week or so ago, they confirmed that yeah, those who recover from the virus actually may develop immunity. So this immunity passport issue is back on again, and I can tell you this immunity passporting is going to be part of our life in the future. I won't be surprised if it is become as part of our visa requirements. So the Africans who are given a bad PR to vaccination, you better get ready because if the Americans said if you want to apply, we want to know if you are immune or if you are resistant to COVID-19. And if you don't, they will might ask you to go and take a vaccination of COVID-19 or you will visit to their states and other Western nations. And I believe Africa also will repeat the same thing. So that's the only way to cut this chain of transmission. So active cases right now also rose to 2,011,091 people are currently now living with COVID-19 infection, and out of that 1.9 million people, 96% are in mild conditions. When they say mild condition, these are the group of people, some of them in fact are asymptomatic. That means they are not showing any sign of symptoms. Okay. So those who have seen signs of symptoms with mild conditions are headache, fever, sore throat, and persistent coughing. And also, you can add these symptoms to it, but that is not common for everybody. That is loss of smell. There are other group who say they can't smell anything and they can't taste anything. Is another sign of COVID-19. Recently, they just added what they call COVID toe. That's you find your toes start itching, and if you itch them, it creates a blister. And these blister turn to wound, on top of your toes, especially the big toe and the one next to it. So they call it COVID-19 toe. That's the latest symptom of the virus they added. This goes to show how still we know very little about this virus because almost every day something is coming out. Just I'm here for COVID-19, but today there are this disturbing report about number of children going down with a severe viral infection. Nobody knows what it is. In fact, it's not even clear whether it's virus or not. In major European cities, and these viruses tend to be even more aggressive than coronavirus. It's in BBC News. You go to BBC website, the story is there. It's very, very, very scary. While COVID-19 attack your lungs and start damaging it, then that will eventually deny your vital organs, oxygen, and they will start dying, and this is what kills them. But this particular virus that is killing children right now across Europe, actually destroy your blood vessels, so you start bleeding internally. It's really nasty, So yeah, so basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to, okay, I don't even think these numbers. So 54,590 people are in serious or critical condition right now all over the world. So when they say critical, these are the kind of people that need hospital admission. Not only, thank you, Madeline, you are welcome. Not only um, not only hospital admission, but they need intensive care beds. These people, when they say, okay, COVID-19 have no cure, then why people go to hospitals? Yes, because they need the support of the doctors. What COVID-19 does, it damages your lungs. And once your lungs is damaged, that means the oxygen capacity of your lungs also is severely, severely curtailed. And that means the oxygen concentration in your blood, in your system, is below 75%. And for a healthy person, your your oxygen concentration in your blood have to be 75% or 75 to 100%. So say if your lungs is damaged to 25%, it only has 25% capacity, and the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere is only 21%. So that lungs will struggle to maintain 75%. So that's why when people start struggling with their breath, they are taken to the hospital, straight to the intensive care. Some of them might not actually need ventilators, but they will need some kind of oxygen. That is concentrated oxygen. They will be pumped into their lungs to help them meet that concentration of 75% also in their blood. Because if your oxygen concentration is low, that means your carbon dioxide concentration also is building, and these can make you lose consciousness. It gives you lightheaded and all the funny feelings. But the lack of oxygen also, it means less oxygen for vital organs like the brain. If the brain didn't have enough oxygen, it will not function optimally. That means everything is all jumbled up. So your kidney also deprived of oxygen, they might not be doing well. So these organs started dying, and this is how this virus kill people. So straight away, I'm going to go to 10. top 10 countries, most affected countries in the world. And Africa, unfortunately, we are right on cue, about WHO predictions. Around West Africa, we're going to see the peak of this virus around June, July. You look at Guinea-Conakry, everybody, ECOWAS should just get up and go and do something in that country. The numbers are not good, and they are going on the table. They are coming up to the table on the table every day, and also Mali. So, but what is significant, to highlight, about Guinea-Conakry and Mali? Recently, all these two countries went to the polls. But Guinea went to the polls first, apparently for a referendum that will give them an 82-year-old another 12 year to rule. Could you imagine, if Guinea turned out to be the epicenter of coronavirus in West Africa, and it was all down to the power-hungry 82-year-old. Somebody, I definitely, somebody probably might not be around after 5 years or 10 years, but he's so drunk with power. He forced this referendum, even when the threat of corona is all over the place. So now the numbers are going up in hundreds. They are well above Senegal now. In fact, around that part of the world, they are right on top now, and coming up the table on daily basis. So according to the top 10 most affected countries, past 24 hours numbers I'm going to give you, that is the number of recorded cases past 24 hours and number of deaths. So US recorded 13,153 new cases and 778 deaths. Spain recorded 2,740 new cases and 268 deaths. And Italy recorded 1,874 new cases and 285 deaths. These people definitely can claim now that they are the other side of the curve now. They leveled the curve and they are now on the downwards even though that's what the British Prime Minister is claiming. But I don't believe him, because I think what is going to happen now that they are increasing the number of tests, so that's going to again affect the number of new cases discovered. Like UK, past 24 hours, they recorded 6,032 new cases and 674 deaths. We are counting number of people dying here. It's become almost normal now. This is just unbelievable. France, the numbers are not yet in, but Germany recorded 584 new cases, 51 deaths. Turkey recorded 2,615 new cases, 93 deaths. And Russia now is the epicenter of Europe in terms of new recorded cases. Russia recorded 7,099 new cases, 101 deaths. Iran recorded 983 and 71 dead. Iran also is on the down side of the things. And China, curiously, recorded 4 cases, no death. Brazil recorded 885 new cases and 30 deaths. Another idiot there as the president, just like Donald Trump. All these guys preoccupied is about opening the economy. He don't even believe, or he's pretending not to believe, because the numbers are everywhere to see. He's insisting, undermining the work of the health minister. In fact, he ended up sacking the health minister, which lead to the resignation of their justice minister. So it's all going down there as well. Canada recorded 1,416 new cases, 184 dead, and Belgium recorded 660 new cases, 93 dead, and Netherlands 549, 84 dead, and India 1,718, 72 dead. Okay, so now with that, I will go to West Africa. Number for West Africa countries that are very close to the Gambia. We are only surrounded by Senegal, and our latest case should give us a clear warning to the Ministry of Fisheries that he is playing with the life of people and his permanent secretary, because this guy is from Senegal. He was reported, Gambians have been vigilant. So as long as those fish meal factories are open in Gunjur, Sanyang, and Khartoum, Gambia is not safe. On daily basis, Senegalese fisher folk are flogging into the Gambia, selling their fish and going back again. All they have to do is to close those fish meal factories. These people will not be coming. It will be left to our local fishermen who will be going out to sea to feed the local population. And also why opening those fish meal factories probably one of the darkest things our government is engaging. While they are distributing all that rice, today is about um, um, my topic is so I'm just introducing my topic as I go. It's about COVID-19 and farming pandemic. So you are distributing rice, you are distributing sugar, you are distributing oil. These things are not going to feed you. These things make you sick. So that's why we need a ready, consistent supply of protein to make it balance little bit. And that protein now is being taken away in tons on daily basis by these Chinese factories and exporting it all. So how on earth you can a country can close the nerve center of their economy or the lifeblood of their economy, that's the export rate, and then allow the Chinese to continue to extract one of their most vital natural resources. This is just unbelievable because what they are doing now, they are depriving the locals the vital protein they need that is going to make them stronger against this virus. Without protein, there will be no immunity. The immune cells are protein. Let's make this clear. All the vital enzymes in our bodies, our structures, why we can see is all protein. So if you take protein out of our diet, we are as good as dead. We are malnourished and we are we become very susceptible to other illnesses. So Senegal now have recorded 933 new cases so far. No, so far they recorded 933, 51 past 24 hours they recorded. Guinea-Conakry is 1,351 so far, and Guinea-Bissau 205. Guinea-Bissau also just 3 days ago there are only 50 cases, and now look at the numbers. So these West Africa, they need to come together. It looks like Senegal, even though their numbers are coming up because they are doing the right thing, they are going out and test. Senegal even developed their own test. This is just unbelievable, for West African country. So Gambia best hope is to collaborate with Senegal. Senegal know what they are doing, and in terms of survival rate against COVID-19, they are top 3 countries in the world. Could you imagine that? The chloroquine they are using is working perfectly, and the experience they gain from the Ebola, they are using it to the maximum. In fact, that's technology they use to develop their own test. Test is a problem everywhere in the world. The Chinese, they are bringing very bad test kits, and flooding the world. This is what killed Spanish because these test kits are only 30% effective. So basically, if you use the Chinese one, you are sending maybe 70% of the positive back into the community as negative. Just few days ago, the Indians returned tons of Chinese taxis because they don't like it. So who will like that? The Indians, when they discover these test kits are not up to scratch, they just return them. But how do we know? And these are the ones we have been using in the Gambia. So probably, Gambia is under testing or they are giving wrong test to people. This could be catastrophic. So Burkina Faso so far recorded 641 cases. Mali recorded 482, and Mali also until a week ago they are in single digits. This is another country who went to election, just about 2 weeks ago, parliamentary election, when all the warnings are that public gatherings are contradictory. But they went ahead anyway and did this election, and just look, their numbers are coming up all of a sudden. Sorry, I forgot to record for Ivory Coast. But Sierra Leone so far have 124, and Gambia also have one. Our numbers are counting, but this one is even more worrying because this guy came from Senegal to Farafenya and entered into the country. How many people did he come across with? How did he get to Farafenya? Where are the people he joined the same transport with? And how long have we been in Farafenya? So these are the questions. I believe the Minister of Health are asking these questions, and they're going to after these people the contact tracing. But contact tracing, we know in our settings is almost it's almost an impossible job because there is no fixed address. There is no specific address whereby you punch a number in the system and it brings you this address. You wouldn't know. And if people join the public transport, there is no record that these Mr. X and Y and Z were in this particular transport. When they reach their destination, they all go their separate ways. So these are the challenges we are facing in West Africa, and that's why we have to be very, very, very careful and concentrate on preventive measures. This is our best chance. Preventive measures are our best chance. Yeah, so coming back to the food security issue, this is going to impact very, very negatively on income resource constrained nations like the Gambia. That's why it doesn't make any sense to allow the Chinese to continue to take these measures. Right now on weekly or on monthly basis, Golden Lead alone are exporting 32,000 tons of fish meal powder, and that is 32,000 kilogram of fish meal powder. That is 32 tons. That is golden lead again. So alone. So if you put the other three fish meal together, that's about 96,000 kilograms. And according to figures from this website, you need like eight fish to give you a kilogram. So eight times that 96, how many fish is that? And this is on monthly basis. We can sustain this, and that's why the common bonga now is out of reach of a common man in the Gambia. And this spelled disaster for us. So by letting these Chinese factories to operate, they're not only making us sick, they making us malnourished, they make us sick, and also they are putting extra pressure on our fragile healthcare system. Because if people are not well fed, they are susceptible to all kind of infections. Even mere common cold will kill them. You know, much more coronavirus. So it's not wise, it's not prudent for government to continue to allow these people to continue to operate. You know, is what they call catch 22 situation. The warnings are everywhere in red. But much more, we have a national emergency. This was ratified by our parliament. How on earth a state minister can go out of his way and give these people, you know, lancing to go and operate when the entire nations, unless those factories who are involved in essential businesses are allowed to operate. But these people, they are also sustainably extracting our resources, which every Gambian needs. The average Gambian, I mean, the 90% of the population, very few Gambians can go to Tangier and buy fish for thousands, 2,000, 3,000, and go and put them in their freezer. Those people wouldn't care. They will get their fish on a daily basis. So what about the rest of the population? You go to places like Gunjur itself, this bunga is not, it doesn't come cheap anymore. That means the common man is eating less and less protein, and the less protein you eat, the less likely you are struck down by any pathogen or any infectious agent. So this is the yeah. Then thank you so much. Ahmed, even right now, the smell is on. It is falling on. Wow, this is unbelievable. So you see that's the other side. People are fasting, and they cannot even breathe fresh air. And this is their fundamental human right. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So, I've got 2 minutes to go. What I want to use that to advise my fellow Gambians, especially the youth, we are in a hungry state. Everybody is hungry now, including the Western world, the most developed nations like US. People are queuing for half of the day just to get their hand on food from the food banks. So much more us, the Gambians, or I can see Africans in general. So we have an opportunity. We have enough warning even before the virus arrived. But now what we should all do is to go and clear our fields for the coming rainy season. If you have a fenced property, this is a good opportunity. But if it is not fenced, sometimes, if everybody does it anyway, we have very, very little risk from the roaming wild animals and also the cattle and all that. You know, people need to go to farming, and farm things that are quick ripe, like the potatoes, like the peanuts, the common things, that will, are very, very rich in protein. The bean, bean is very, very good and it's very, very good, easy to grow. So, I was reading the address the Bangladeshi Prime Minister gave to his nation, that he don't want to see a meter of empty land, not plant, not plow this coming rainy season. I think Gambia also should um, applies not similar things. But our Ministry of Agriculture, while the health is busy doing all these issues of control, this is the time for our Minister of Agriculture to go around the country and sensitize the farmers, and have a conversation with him, know their problem, what are their problems, they need seeds, let him give and give them the right advice that the world is facing a situation that is unprecedented. So we need to change even the way we farm. We have to go for food items that are easy, quick to ripe. And while everybody is dealing with this, this is not going to last. In fact, this rice deprivation, the way they are doing, is like a sprint. What we are facing is a marathon. We have to prepare very, very well, because this virus in itself is not going anytime soon. Let me make that very clear. This virus is on the move, is turn by turn, as Rafa said. This is turn by turn. It's moving from continent to continent. You see now, UK, according to their prime minister, they passed, the peak. Yeah, it's like that. That smell, the headache you suffer is not a coincidence. It's an exact science. This is about sulfur. Sulfur concentration in the atmosphere. In fact, today I saw an interview for a newspaper with Papa Sanyan of Gum Petroleum. He mentioned about sulfur, the part per million concentration that is allowed in the atmosphere, and that's what ECOWAS is trying to legislate. It's only five parts per million. So this is what you have been bombarded with, these fish meal factories on daily basis. You have to live with it. That is unfortunate. And if you continue to breathe this, it makes the lining of our lungs, it makes them thin, it makes them irritable, so it makes them very, very vulnerable to virus like coronavirus. So I would not be surprised if this virus, once it's arrived in the Gambia, the epicenter will be around our part of the world, because this is where people are really struggling to breathe fresh air. Allah forbid, but that is the situation. So coming back to farming, anybody, if you are, even if you are in the diaspora, support, give them money to go and clear that land and let them plant wisely. That's the only way that is going to alleviate just a little bit the impact of what is coming. Is already here. That's why we are all distributing this, right? In helping each other out. But that's not going to last. The reality is the best solution that is going to sustain our landing is going back to farms. It have to be fenced or not, but less people go. So what I'm suggesting, the Ministry of Agriculture should now be touring the country, sensitizing farmers that what they need to change, and what the government should advise them. If they need seed, the kind of seed they should, the kind of plant they should concentrate on. That should be their preoccupation, but unfortunately not. Everybody will wait until when their time comes, they will get it, then it's too late. That we have with this government. It takes them almost 3 months to even come out with this food supply. But the warnings have been there another 3 months before. That this is coming, it's inevitable, it's everywhere. You know, as I said, the virus is on the move. Just depend now, it's passing UK, now Russia is taking over as the epicenter in Europe. So this is how it goes. We've seen Senegal probably one of the first countries to have it, but Guinea Conakry is just going on the table. Every day you go, they go 2, 3 steps, on the table. That's not looking good. I just watched a documentary about Gina Conakry a few days ago. I just cannot believe. It made me even more angry about this 82-year-old president they have. Because when you look at the vegetation alone, you don't even have to be economic whatever. You know that country is rich. But the infrastructure there is just terrible. It's just unbelievable. So to see that Ebola, this virus is increasing, Corona is increasing there in that almost exponentially, is very, very scary, and it should be a real concern to ECOWAS region. And I think this is about time they get up and come together to find a solution. I think Senegal has a formula. Senegal can do this, and lead these to force to fight it collectively. They are doing very, very well internally, but they could help with their expertise. Now they have their own test kit. This is the time for them to go into Guinea Conakry and also Bissau. The members are coming up. But Mali also, who also went to the polls recently, is also not looking good at all. So, guys, that's what I have for today. Inshallah, tomorrow I'll come back again. Um, Gambia, we cannot rest on our laurels. So total new cases past 24 hours is 43,293 the whole world, and we have total death 2,352. Total number of countries affected 202, and conveyances like the votes in the sea about two of them. So this is the situation. Please help us share these videos so that you can reach to many people as possible. Thank you, Abla. Yeah, so that's what we have for today. Inshallah, tomorrow we are coming back again. And inshallah, next week we will start incorporating the environmental components as well. Thank you.